Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to this episode of Two Girls, One Doc.
One Doc.
It's your girl, BD.
It is Foreign's the foodie with some content. I feel like I need to emphasize that every day. I actually have content. Follow me on TikTok. I'm very proud of you. Watch. I try to do something every day.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, girl. It's not easy. Gotta give the people what they want.
So today we are covering a documentary called The Football Fraudster. Oh wait, sorry, before that, I'm drinking today.
Okay, rum and Red Bull.
I'm drinking. No, actually, it's apple and ginger juice, which is becoming my fast fave. It's so nice. It's what's that brand? Is it called Crawstons or Crawsons or Craw?
Oh, I think if you see the bottle, you recognize it on your something.
That, and then I basically put some tequila in it, yeah. But that was an error because I thought that it was, that Sierra tequila, the one with the hat on it, the sombrero, yeah. They have this really nice flavor. It's like a tropical.
Is it the one you bought for me?
Yes. And okay. I bought it for you because I had it at Liz's, yeah. Like, it's so nice. You can literally just put ice in a cup and drink it, yeah. And so I thought it was that, but it wasn't.
Was not, yeah.
It was just some basic tequila. So I said, God, it's too late now.
It's too late.
I have to drink it. I'm not a quitter, me.
No, you have to see it through. Nice. You have to see it through. So today we are covering the Football Fraudster.
We sure are.
And you guys are just so lucky I'm a Christian and the kind of Christian that has morals, because I would have been defrauding people up and down. Like, they make it look so easy.
They make it look so easy.
And it probably is so easy because
and the
what the hell?
consequences aren't even really that bad. Like, okay, you go jail.
Yeah.
And then you come out.
And
go again.
And if you're already inclined to that life, you're not going to care about going to jail anyways.
In fact, if you're in jail, it's even free. You're not paying for shit.
You're not paying taxes.
Hey. But you're not earning money either, so.
Yeah, but what do you need money for?
But I was going to say that, of course they're not paying taxes because they're not earning money. Which is kind of shit.
Yeah, but if you're in jail, you don't need money.
But don't you need, commissary?
That's what you have friends for. If I'm in jail, you're not going to send me money.
Of course I would.
Yeah, so.
But do you think he has friends?
We'll soon find out.
Okay.
So the documentary starts with what they call Chapter 1, the boyfriend. And I want to say Meet Georgia still, but if you've watched, I was going to say Love is Blind, what is wrong with me? Love Island, then you know who she is. She was a contestant on, I think it was season 5 or 6 of Love Island. I actually don't remember her, but I
remember her, but I don't remember.
Wasn't she
loyal?
Yeah, that's her. With some mixed race guy. It's always a mixed race guy anyways.
Square-headed
with a square head.
Yeah.
Literally with a square head.
They don't have one this season though, but he might be a bombshell.
Are you watching this season?
Of course I'm going to watch it. Do you know what? I try and do better every year, but I'm not. I'm flawed. I'm a deeply flawed human being.
But it's actually not even about doing better. I just don't find it good anymore.
Nah, because this is what happens, yeah, every year. It gets good. There's points in time with every season of Love Island where it is good, except for the winter seasons. But where it's good, yeah. But you don't appreciate the good unless you have endured the bad. Exactly. So I'm just like, you know what, cool, that's just going to be my thing. I guess because it's from 9 till 10, I'll just make sure I do my stretches and my Pilates video while I'm watching it. And then at least then it's like, cool, I'll go to bed after.
Like I was saying, I don't really necessarily remember her, but yeah, you're right, Loyal. I remember that one. So she's out in a club in Mayfair and there's this guy that's sat on another table. They're giving each other the eye. She says she kind of likes the fact that he wasn't being all over her and stuff like that. And this particular club is a regular for celebrities. So finally he approaches her and he says he goes by Miguel Johnson.
I wonder if they let dark-skinned women into that club. Mayfair's notorious.
You don't need to ask. The answer is no.
Notorious.
They have a paper bag at the front. If you dare come in this, you go home.
Unless you a nigga.
Honestly, I don't see the appeal. I don't even know why people want to go to those environments. So anyways, she says that he doesn't even recognize, or he acts like he doesn't know who she is. And for her, that kind of turns her on because she's like, I really want to be mysterious. Prejudge me, yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
and all of that. And I can be a mysterious girl with you.
Which, fair enough.
Fair fucking enough.
Because it's like you approach me like a fan. Like, I'm going to feel like you're a fan. Like, I'm not going to feel like you're my equal.
So the next day, she says that he starts doing what she recognizes today as love bombing. Like, he's all messaging her incessantly, when are we going to meet up? And what this says to me is you're unemployed. I would then question, what is your stream of income? If
Why do you have so much time?
literally you have all this time to message me? And before you could say Jack Robinson, they were out at dinner. So she says,
I remember we got there and there was security outside the door, and as Miguel walked, they actually stepped aside, and he seemed to have known the owners there.
and I get it, because automatically you just think this is a somebody, like this is an exclusive area of London. You're walking in, they're stepping aside for you. Obviously, you know Wagwan, they know Wagwan, like everybody sees each other.
We see each other.
So sidebar, speaking of, I 100% believe that the Portia and Simon drama is for views.
What,
Because-
fabricated?
Yeah, what is her storyline this season if it isn't this divorce? I honestly feel like they're going to work it out. They're going to come out and say they've worked it out, because it's weird.
What is the drama?
I don't know, but I don't know. They've just been going back and forth on social media. But what I do know is when he divorced his ex, it wasn't like this. He just divorced. There was a few this and that, because mainly she was talking and I think Portia spoke. But
Because Portia was involved.
this is weird.
Yeah,
And
but
it
when you
came
say
from
back and
nowhere.
forth, like, what is the back and forth?
Like literally indirects, like posting, commenting on things and posting
about
all
each
these
other.
stories, and it's weird. So I really hope it's not, because that is the lowest of the low. But
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. This season better be good, I swear to God. Like, I swear to God. Like, when I rewatch Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm just like, God, it used to be so good.
I swear, if this is not good, then the Real Housewives franchise has lost me forever. I'm coming back for this.
Oh, you're going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm coming, because it's fresh. They said it's a new cast. I'm coming back for this. It better be good.
Yeah, my hopes aren't high.
So she says they finally go on this date, and the date went really well. They got on great. And George's mom says that all they knew was that this guy lived in Atlanta. He was from a famous family, and he couldn't say who. He says he couldn't take pictures together because he was famous and needed to stay away from the paparazzi. And somehow George is like,
You're
oh,
either
like
married or you're a criminal, bro.
this literally, George was like, somehow this made him seem more legit. And I'm like, girl, wake the fuck up.
Well, maybe because she's been around... maybe because she's been around famous people. Maybe that's how they move.
No, but they don't move like, we can't take a selfie that's on your phone. Like,
And
not
like,
even-
you're famous, bro. Like,
not
people
even a
so you tell me
cop
no one
out,
stopped
like-
you in the street to ask you for a picture.
Honestly. So George's family immediately don't like Miguel, and her dad says he's faking the accent.
And so this is why, because everyone else that we hear about is talking about how good his accent is and and the dad instantly is like, this is not an Atlanta accent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way that it could be so good that, oh my God, it was amazing, and so bad that it was like he could tell straight away.
Maybe it was a good American accent, but people don't know their head from their ass, so they didn't know that it wasn't a good Atlanta accent. Because I can listen to an accent, like, I know the different regions of America and the accents, but if you don't,
They don't
you
all
may
sound the
not.
same.
Yeah, then you're just gonna be like, oh, he sounds American, but you wouldn't know
that's
that
true.
you're meant to sound country. So
Yeah.
Georgia says that they go out for shisha in Mayfair, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately for her, paparazzi people take pictures of them.
The narrator
And-
person was so shady when she was like, so, you know, either, basically she was trying to explain that paparazzi came, and she was like, oh, so either, you know, paparazzi were stalking Georgia and just got so lucky that night to see her, or someone called them.
And she probably called them.
Which is very often the case, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who called, but somebody called. They didn't just say, oh my God, Georgia Steele.
Yeah. So he gets so angry, like he almost gets into a fight with the paparazzi. And the next day, George's manager calls her and is basically, yeah, this guy is a known fraudster. Like, he basically lied to you. And his name is Medi Abalimba. Did I say that right? Abalimba.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we meet another talking head, Dr. Donna Young, yeah. And do you remember the episode of Bob's Burgers where the kids didn't want to work in the restaurant, or the dad told the kids to stop working and enjoy their summer?
No,
So they,
I do not remember.
let me
this.
tell you,
Go ahead.
So they go, the kids start exploring and stuff like that, and they end up working for this couple that's a farmer, and it turns out they sell weed. So obviously Bob is like, what the fuck, like, my kids are selling weed, yeah. And then the day he comes to get them from the farm, the police come. This woman reminds me of the woman that was selling weed on the farm. Like, just very
Okay.
airy fairy. Like, I can also imagine her being the this is hip hop kind of woman.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that kind of energy.
Those are the classes she teaches after she does this.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
So there's some commentary she gives in this, and I'll pick at it, and I'm just like, girl, sit down. So Georgia learned of the 2014 case where Medi impersonated a Chelsea football player. And I just believe that things were easier to do back then, because I don't know that you could get away with that now.
I mean, we say this because crime has been happening since there was man, okay?
Yeah.
And like every time, it's
Especially
like,
man.
Especially man. But every time it's like, oh, things were easier back then. Okay, but things get harder and crimes are still committed.
That
So
is
at the
true.
time it was 2014, that was the height of technology, right?
Yeah.
People were still defrauded. Even now, people, like for example, the text messages that you get about, oh, your package, follow this link.
Oh, I got one today.
We'll be looking back at them in like 5-10 years and like, oh, that was the time. How could people, because something new would have happened.
Yeah.
So no, actually, let's all really be accountable for ourselves here, okay? Because this is, he didn't, okay. Google was available back then, right? So all of this is low-key racism, yeah? Because, again, racism makes a do you know what a patient said to me today?
What? Don't tell me you look like Serena Williams.
I get this a lot, but they're like, oh, I saw you last time. You actually didn't because I wasn't here then. Yeah. But also, the guy was like to me, oh, so I introduced myself, I say my name. And he's like, oh, you're Nigerian. I think they just guess Nigerian for the most part because, like, chances are, statistically, the black person's going to be Nigerian, yeah? And so I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, oh, you speak excellent English.
What?
I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you speak excellent English. I was like, yeah, I was born and raised here. He was like, oh, my grandchildren are Nigerian or half Nigerian. They also speak excellent English. I was like, okay, you yourself, you too, you speak excellent English. What are we all talking about here?
The racism is, it's like,
In
a
the
nigga
UK,
speaking
it's so-
English?
And it's like, for me, yeah, you can tell when someone is a native speaker of a language. Like, you can tell.
Yeah.
I can do Duolingo from now to forever, yeah? I hit my 600-day streak yesterday, yeah? I'm never going to
Congrats.
sound, thank you, I'm never going to sound like a native. I'm just not. There's phrases, especially with English, with British English, there's so many, like, what are the words, like phrases and like things and the way that we say things that just don't make sense. Like, the words are English words, but put together they don't have the meaning that they would have if you were taught English later on in life.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at him like,
This is what I say about the racism in this country. And sometimes, like, it doesn't even, if you haven't lived here for a long time, it doesn't even,
you don't get it, you
dilute.
don't clock it.
It doesn't, set till you get home.
Yeah.
You get home and you're like, oh, that shit was fucking racist.
Or someone will have to let you know that was weird. Do you know when I clocked that? I was like, yeah, no, I'm glad people acknowledge this. The receipts to the episode with Paul C. Brunson, yeah, it was a really good episode. And
everyone keeps telling me to watch it, and I'm like, have you guys not watched, like, Married at First Sight, or like any of them? But apparently,
well, I mean, it's different though, is it not? It's a completely different thing being on a TV show and like him having an interview.
No, but people keep saying like, oh, he's that guy, and I'm like, yeah, but he literally sets people up for vibes on that show. So
he talks about the show on it as well. But I'm
somebody
saying
told
that
me
because,
that,
yeah, I'm saying the interview is a really good interview, yeah. And so in it they mention like racism because I guess he lives in the UK, and he was like, yeah, like the racism in America is different. In the UK, he was like, in the UK it's different. He was like, it's just like you might not even really clock it at the time,
yeah,
but it's just so weird. But
that's how they love to do it.
I don't know what I was saying.
No, we're just saying that it's racism that none of these people.
No, but how did we get here?
Because none of them noticed that he wasn't the footballer.
Okay, because we were talking about technology and blah blah. It was a bad 2014. There was Google, okay, and Google would have shown you that this man is not that man.
Yeah, but you
and
didn't.
That's that.
And you didn't care.
And you didn't care because racism lives within you.
And also because to you, black people can only be athletes or in jail. So when he said he was an athlete, it just made sense because he wasn't in jail.
It just made sense. You're like, yeah, of course he fucking is.
Yeah. So we now meet Lauren McDonald, and the purpose of her being in this documentary was to find another footballer. I don't really feel like she added much value. She started off by saying that she knew Medi way before he was all these things, but then it turned out that he also lied to her about who he was. So what is the truth?
So, and also Medi has a type.
Yeah. And yeah, Medi has a type.
Yep, say no more.
Let's just say Dr. Umar would not be pleased. Cyber, I know he's so problematic, but I just find him so funny.
Is it like racism? Sometimes racism's funny.
Who, Dr. Umar?
I said it's like racism. Sometimes racism's funny. Like racism is problematic and dangerous, but sometimes it's funny.
I just find this guy so funny. But anyways,
But what did he do now?
nothing. I just find, like, if I see a clip of him, like, consciousness before coochie, what do you mean? Like,
he means consciousness before coochie.
And that shit is funny.
Medi needed to hear that.
So, Medi meets this lady at another club, and he's lying about his accent again. Like, he has an American accent, and they call this chapter 2, the player. So he's basically on-screen text tells us that in 2008, Medi is playing for Southend United's under-18 team, where he appears on a popular UK soccer show called Soccer AM. So he actually...
I remember Soccer AM.
I don't.
I think it was like, it came on like Saturdays and stuff. I think
don't
it was
know
on either
who
before
that
or after a
is.
show I actually wanted to watch.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So he actually did play football. So within the lies, there is a truth.
There's always elements of truth within the lies. So
yeah.
That's what they say.
So he played 2 seasons for the under-18. Then he starts to have trials with Premier League football clubs, and he doesn't get picked up. But he sees the lifestyle. And I'm laughing at this point because they're basically telling, like, one of the talking heads who said he interviewed Medi, yeah. He's like, what if I told you, like, this guy was born in 1989 and not 1998, like he said? And the guy was flabber. And then here comes Donna saying that, oh, he's a psychopath. And she's, like, over-analysing this. And I was like, no, this is a Nigerian man at his core.
Well, he's Congolese, first of all.
Forget the fact that he's Congolese. This is a Nigerian man at his core.
No, he's African. Do you think that we're the only ones that... Do you think we invented live by age?
No, we didn't. But the way... There was one time I saw this footballer... Yes. There was one time I saw this footballer. No, they were saying he was 16.
Yeah,
this man...
Bro,
and then also there's this clip of UK Border Force of this guy that looked like he was on his second mortgage, that was saying he was 16 and he needed to go to social services. Like, so I know that we're not the only ones, but that our own way of doing it.
It was giving Nigeria, yeah.
And in Nigeria, it's such a casual thing. I remember my grandpa being like, yeah, and my grandpa was the first black MD of Texaco Nigeria. So he wasn't even like some like... He wasn't like a nobody. Like, this is somebody you would expect would have all the ducks in a row, right? This man was like to me, yeah, I have 3 ages. He was like, oh, there was the age my dad put because at that time, if you weren't a certain age, you needed to go to school. You couldn't go to school. So he put a certain age. Then he said his driver's license, he was like 10 years younger on his driver's license, because he said if he put his right age, they will stop him from driving. I was like, Grandpa, maybe you shouldn't. Then his official age was another age, and even at that, there was a confusion because there was one point where his older cousin had to tell him his age because he said you had to have been this age because you weren't born when this was happening. So like
Gods.
And my grandpa's own wasn't deceit. I mean, other than the driver's license.
They're really saying age ain't number number. This is age ain't number.
It's so casual for Nigerians. Bare people, bare of them have different ages. So either way, I was saying, Donna, you don't need to overanalyze it. This is an African thing.
She was doing a lot. And also nothing. I was kind of like, babe, like it's almost okay.
It's like this is hip hop woman. She was doing a lot. She broke a sweat, but achieved nothing.
No, but it was like Donna's dad or Donna's man or Donna's relative was doing this thing. Was like, oh, Donna, why don't you dust off your psychology degree and come and do something? Even when she was putting the string on, I said, girl,
it's not that deep. We can see what he's doing.
This documentary, sans Donna, it would have been the same. It would have just been shorter.
Yeah, and also
because this is an hour and a half.
The documentary needed to be shorter,
and this isn't a Netflix production. Yeah, it's just on Netflix. So we can't even, so
but they seek out these kind of nonsense documentaries.
Either way, this documentary didn't need to be as long as it was. Donna, like, obviously do your thing in it, shout out your degree in that. But this here, you're trying to use sense to explain madness, and you can't do that because he's mad, and that's it.
That's simple.
Point blank period.
There's nothing you can do to explain it. So Medi starts playing for a small team in France, but he's pretending that he's more successful than he is. So obviously he's portraying a lifestyle that he doesn't have. Lauren says she goes out to France to see Medi, and then one day she hears an English accent, and at that point she knows that she should have ended it, but they kept going.
That's insane, because she's like, they're in a hotel, yeah, and she's asleep, and then she wakes up and kind of like walks into the room or whatever, and he is on the phone. Oh yeah, bruv, yeah fam, yeah, sees her and now switches to Americana.
It's crazy.
Now it's yeah cuz, and and now she's like, and makes it seem like he was like putting on the London accent.
Yeah, but this babe doesn't care.
What, in casual conversation?
She felt the need to tell us something about having an ex that was a football player, and that she knows a lot of footballers. She doesn't care about all this shit. She just wants the proximity to,
I don't know why she came here.
A certain kind of lifestyle. She came here to promote her market. What do you mean?
Fair.
What do you actually mean?
So get it where you can.
Literally. So, we learned that Medi moved to England from Congo when he was like 8. And then again, Donna's trying to use this as like, oh, this gave him no stability and he started to invent a reality. And it's like, babe, he's not the first immigrant.
And neither is he the last.
And neither, like, many of people immigrated to this country, and
he's just bad mind. Like, he's just bad mind.
He's just crazy. That's all. He's
like,
that's
he
simple.
just wants to do bad, and he's doing it.
And sometimes that's all it is. You don't need to overanalyze. So Medi decides to visit Lauren, and then like, this is hobosexuality, because this guy comes to visit you. He's meant to have his whole life in France
for a week. He said he's coming for a week,
and then he decides to just live there
for like 6 months.
Lauren goes and finds him a team he can play with, and then he starts playing with Derby from 2009. So in 2011, he was let go from Derby due to an injury. And again...
Wait, sorry. When we were talking about him lying about his age, yeah, did we say that he was 16 pretending to be... He was 19 pretending to be 16?
Yeah, he was 19, 20 pretending to be 16.
That's insane, because that's a jump, you know. That's GCSE/uni.
Yeah. And
that's
physically
insane.
It's a jump.
Exactly. But this is the thing, and again, racism, yeah. Because why believe him? Because they feel like, oh, black people are just so much bigger and stronger, and like, that's just how they are. Like, so the working body, the slaves, like, because why should he look? Why should he look that age? No, literally, why should he look that age?
So we learned that Medi actually grew up in a well-to-do background, and despite this, he engaged in criminal activities. And this is probably the only thing sensible that Donna says. She basically says that usually when you see someone who comes from a good background engaging in criminal activity, this is usually to impress friends, or they do it in a group. But this guy was doing it on his own. He was waking up in the middle of the night, not needing to steal, and he was stealing. And this is my fear.
Your gated community to leave to come and steal.
And this is my fear with like having a kid. You can actually birth this kind of kid, give them everything.
Exactly.
But they're going to do what they're going to do. And there's nothing you can do about it.
And this is why people need to really, really think deeply about whether or not they want to have children, because you have this kind of child and it's still your obligation to love and care for said child and try and make them a better person.
But this is why my own unpopular opinion was that I think there should be certain tests done. And this is not blaming his parents, but generally I think there should be certain tests done before people have kids. But I don't think we should just allow. It should just be allowed.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be able to pop a kid out, yeah. But even still, yeah, you can be statistically, financially, emotionally, all your scores are 10, 10, 10, yeah. But you can still have a shit kid. And then where do you go from there?
You go to that woman throwing her kid in the basketball. That's where you go to.
You know what?
The meme of the woman throwing the kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where you go. Because, it's not you that's going to come and stress me out. So, we learned that Medi stole money from a fellow footballer at 15k. And the way this happens is Lauren basically kicks him out. And then this footballer comes and says, yeah, you can come and chill with me.
His name's Mikel. He was so funny, fam. He's as mad today as he was when it happened.
Yeah. And so he goes out basically to trials or whatever he goes to, comes back, and his room is a bit of a mess. And there's this back and forth about if Lauren called Mikel.
So this I thought was fucking weird, because Mikel says to us, oh yeah, Lauren called him and is like, what's his name, Medi's stolen like money from you, by the way, so check your accounts and stuff, right? And then Mikel's saying like, Lauren's saying like, oh no, like Mikel called me to tell me that he whatever. I don't believe Lauren. I
believe that Medi brought that card, took her out, wined and dined her, She enjoyed the money, chopped it, and then went to call Mikhail after because she was beefing him. I do not think...
Yeah. I don't think it happened the way she said at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Because why would I call you to tell you, hey, this guy stole my money?
Why would you just call the police and not call the guy directly?
Yeah, like, and this guy, like, he just seemed very, like, upfront. He don't give a heck about anything. Yeah. I feel like he would have said, yeah, I called her. Like, why would he lie and say, oh, she called me?
I think she does. She probably enjoyed some of that money that he...
yeah, I agree. She was complicit in some way.
And he took 15k out of Medi's...
This is insane.
15k... Mikhail, sorry. Out of Mikhail's account. 15 fucking k. So anyways, in 2014, Medi disappears from Glasgow, and then he starts portraying himself as another Premier League footballer called Gael Kakuta. And they don't look a lick alike, but hey, racism.
They are both black.
That's where it ends. So it's... Okay, actually, I'm going to park that for my real crime because I just remembered something. So we're at chapter 3 now. It's called The Footballer. So Medi's in Derby, and a car company gets a call about a celeb, and the guy says...
The agent identified the footballer as Gael Kakuta. I googled Gael Kakuta and I found out he was a big deal. Who do they love? Superstars and idols. We thought cha-ching.
And I was just like, okay, well, you got your ka-ching in the end.
But the thing is, if he had been Gael Kakuta, if he'd been Gael, yeah, Kakuta, okay, if he had been him, yeah, then maybe it would have been like, oh my days, my business is about to blow, like this is the break we're looking for, we can be that car company that does whatever.
But so I don't check.
So we'll get to that part. I don't think there's anything wrong with that being his thought process. No. But then like, I don't know, because I'm trying to think if it was the other way around. Like if I was told, oh yeah, there's this like famous white celebrity, like I might just feel, oh yeah, like, yeah, it must be him. But no, because they don't look alike.
Yeah.
He probably wore his football jersey all the time just to be like, hey, it's me, I promise.
I am Gail. So the real Gail at this time was earning 30k a week. What does it mean?
Where was he? Like, what was he doing?
Who?
Because with celebs, you can kind of know what they're doing. The Gail guy. Like,
he for sure wasn't in Derby. He was playing for, was it Chelsea or something? 30k a fucking week.
That's why Lauren's in it. She's trying to get that.
Nigga, I'm trying to get that. So Medi is trying to...
Sorry, with 30k a week, yeah, do they pay you weekly? Or is it that at the end of the month you get 120k? Like, how?
Girl, do I look like I'm in that tax bracket that you're asking me?
I would love to know.
I'm on a per annum salary that I get monthly, each month, and the direct debits make me stumble. I do not know what happens if you're earning that kind of ridiculous amount, but what I do know is the first thing I would do is withdraw a shit ton of money and roll around on a bed like naked.
Money is so dirty.
I don't give a fuck. Give me all the yeast infections and eczema. I will do that.
I've got money to pay for that shit.
Exactly. I'm gonna get healed. Like, there are two rich things I've always wanted to do that are super tacky: roll around in money naked and have my husband spray champagne on my nude body. Like,
I hear that one. I
just want to do that with Ace of Spades, like not or Crystal.
Pay someone to clean it up.
Yes, like asking me if they pay them monthly. How the fuck would I know? Like, I'm here with you, girl.
One day, maybe no. In Jesus' name.
But for now, I am here with you.
One of us just needs to make it out the hood, fam. One of us needs to make it out the trenches.
Literally, God, I am on my knees. Like, guys, share our shit, okay? So we can answer the question that's burning. What happens if you're earning...
So we can make 30k a week?
Literally, what happens if you're earning 30k a week? This is a question. The only way we can answer this question for you guys is if you help us out.
If you're earning 30k a week, yeah. Let's just live in the...
What is that a month? They're 4 weeks
120. 120k a month. But then what's your tax? Your tax is crazy. But still, you still got bare left.
Oh my God.
What would you do?
I just told you what I'd do.
Okay, after you've done that, is it every day you're going to do champagne bath? Champagne showers? I could.
No, obviously you start investing and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm not talking about...
You're not talking about the sensible things.
No, I'm saying you have all this money. Like, what do you do? Forget, everything is accounted for. You can invest or buy your property, Like, what frivolous things would you do?
I'd probably rent out a whole cruise ship just for me and my family.
God. That would be so fun.
I would buy a ridiculous car, like a G-Wagon, fully loaded.
I would go shopping.
Of course, I would go shopping.
I'd like, but like all of us, like, hey girls, and I would want to like just do like a massive like girls trip and be like, guys, we're going to this island.
All
everyone
on me.
Roll through, yeah, literally all on me. Everyone roll through, like, let's go.
And give you guys wardrobe budgets as well.
Yeah,
because then everyone is looking and feeling their best. And then I would walk into a shop like Hermes and be like, I want a Birkin now. And when they say no, then I'd go to all the other shops, buy shit, come back and be like, you work on commission, right? Big mistake.
You're so stupid.
But I'm not gonna lie,
stupid.
I watched Pretty Woman the other day and I was like, I just need this moment in my life. When will I have it where I can walk in and be like, big mistake?
Well, luckily, like, you're black, so there will always be some sort of discrimination. So just pick your moment.
It's just like Bethany Frankel, yeah. She tried to walk into Chanel the other day looking like a crackhead, and they were like, yeah, no. And so she came back the next day looking like a decent human being, and they let her in. And I don't know what point she was trying to prove, but it was like, yeah, no, like, girl, no.
It's like when Dwight went to the shop and
yeah,
and everyone was like, oh, that's terrible. Like, how could they do that? And they were like, mate, he was covered in blood. The fuck?
Oh my god. But anyways, Medi's out like spending shit, 28k worth of stolen goods.
No one spends money like the people who haven't earned it,
honestly. And he gets arrested for fraud. He's hiring helicopters, lavish hotels, and he's then convicted for 12 counts of fraud and dishonesty. I didn't know you could be convicted of dishonesty.
Yeah, but
like,
is it like alongside fraud, or can you
I guess
dishonesty
so,
on its
because
own?
if not, hella niggas should be in prison. Every man I've dated in the past should be in prison.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's given a 4-year sentence, and obviously at this point these people are driving him about and all of that, and then obviously it comes out that he's not who he is because he doesn't pay the bill. And not only does he not,
that's how they find out.
Not only does he not pay the bill, he actually goes.
Girl.
This is
Sis.
not funny, but it's also hilarious. Like,
it's hilarious. It's sad, but it's
one
hilarious.
of the chauffeurs, he obviously steals his card details and steals like £860 from this guy's account.
Can you imagine? So you owe me and you've stolen from me. That's insane. How can you do brass boss
and
like
not
that?
only that, you're spending 28k, but you're still searching for 800. Like, somebody that can spend 28k, 860 is the least of your.
But he spent 28k. Like, at least I think about the situation. Okay, cool, he's gone to prison, yeah. But the memories he must have. Like, you are staying in these really nice hotels. Like, all that stuff, you've stolen not even just money, but services, yeah. How'd they get back that back from you? They can't. Like, okay, you're in the jail cell now, yeah. But you were in the Corinthia. You were in all these fancy hotels.
You were with Evan Ross. What do you mean?
Like, you have the mems, and maybe they help with the jail bit.
I wish I had met him in 2014.
But innit, it's like a couple
just
of
couple Birkins and been done.
Because can they get it back from you? Like, say he bought stuff for Lauren, obviously he's taking her out and stuff like that. Like, he's on the hook for that, not Lauren. So like, if you bought me a Chanel bag, that's my bag now.
How are they going to find who has that bag? Even if he says, I gave it to me, they'll come to my house.
But this is why girls date these like fraud guys.
Yeah,
the F-man.
But the thing is that it's all fine and good when you're just enjoying, but eventually you'll be asked to do certain
things. If I now
things.
have to hold you down, it's okay, please.
If I got to put cocaine in my moochie, I'm not doing that. So apparently when he's in prison, he starts a relationship with a prison nurse. And Donna,
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and Donna's all like,
he's not even good looking.
Thank you. And Donna is all like, oh, it shows that he's still alive. No, she probably just wanted cock and he wanted cooch. Like, yeah, not everything is a something. So
sometimes it's a nothing.
Sometimes it's a nothing. So we're back with Georgia, and she learns that Medi had taken 30k from her account.
I screamed.
How does someone take 30k from your account? You don't know.
I screamed, and then I'm like, is it credit? Like, is it that he's used your cards and now you're like 30k in debt? Or is it that you were up 30k and now you haven't got the 30k?
The impression I got was that she was up 30k because
I struggle to understand how you wouldn't notice that. He, in the beginning, she tells us how he buys her a diamond ring. He used her money to buy her ring.
The trainers he was wearing that she complimented was money that, and she was basically saying that like she suspects that when she like went to the toilet or something, he took her card.
They never really explain like what he's. I'm guessing does he take pictures of the front and back?
Yeah, he takes pictures of the front and back.
But then how do you then pay for services that way? Like, how do you go out? Because even like what you were saying, yeah, 2014 wasn't like now where like, okay, Apple Pay, blah, blah, blah. So if you've just taken a picture of the front and back of my card, that means you can only do like them internet transactions where you have to type that in. Or I guess if you call and say, hey, let me give you the long card number, blah, blah, blah. But otherwise, like going for dinners and stuff like that, like you can't pay with, oh, here's a picture of my cards.
I guess. Or you can.
Do you get what I mean? Maybe that's why I took the 860. No, but still, again, that was card details. So I don't get it. And they're trying to make it seem like he was some genius and some like whatever. I'm like, okay, but then what did he? How? Maybe he is. Maybe he is genius.
The lowest of the low to steal from a girl like that.
Yeah, it's begging, fam. It's really disgusting. That's some shame.
30k though, and you don't notice. God, when?
That's who's making. That's what someone's weekly salary.
God, yeah, but either way, God, when? When can I be at that stage where if somebody takes from me, somebody has to tell me that they've taken that kind of money?
Oh, I would notice regardless. The way I'm set up.
The way I'm set up.
£10 gone. Excuse
the fuck me. The worst is when you think fraud has been done, but in fact it was you.
It was you. Yeah,
it was fucking
fraud.
you.
It was me. Myself,
but I defrauded myself.
Not I. It was not I. Okay.
It was me myself, but not I.
Not I. So
I defrauded myself.
No, for real. For real. I hate when it adds up. I hate it so much
when I'm literally about and it adds the fuck up, and I'm
sometimes I get happy. I'm like, oh shit, like. I'm not happy that I've been like but I'm like, oh fuck, this makes sense now. Okay, I'm expecting this money back, and then I calculate and I'm like, oh
no, it was
actually
yeah, A-star nails, Deliveroo, this thing, yeah, it was actually fucking you, like
just eat,
just eat, girl. Anyways, so the police call her and they tell her like, yeah, this guy's a fraudster. So we're at chapter 4 and
that's so embarrassing though.
We're at chapter 4 and this fraudster starts dating Thierry Henry's ex-wife.
And this is embarrassing.
And no wonder she's never spoken on it, because it's fucking embarrassing.
To me, this never happened. If this happened to me, it never happened.
It never happened. Like, you go from dating an actual footballer or marrying
successful sexy footballer,
right, because
a buff team.
I used to always have a crush on
a fine ass nigga,
Henry, like,
bruh.
And I don't even like
this and
I'm like, oh, voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Ce soir.
Yeah, and he's not even my type, but he has a lot of sex appeal, man.
He does. He says very like
and I can imagine that he would talk you through it.
That part.
So
that's so crazy. This is a fall from grace, fam.
A massive fall from, and like it's like you can never bag another footballer because nobody's gonna take you seriously.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, that he's spoiled your market, because it's like no one will ever take. Yeah. So he and knows also, like, I'm sorry, you're with Henry. Like the only logical step footballer wise would be Beckham. That's it. I was about to say that.
That's the only. Other than that, you have to retire the profession.
That's like when I say when Beyonce and Jay-Z break up, it's Oprah. Who next?
No, I told you it has to be a rich
Ellen DeGeneres. Okay, yeah. But yeah, like it was Beckham. You left him.
That's it. If not him, then you have to retire the profession. You have to find another sport or another field, because it's like if I have transcended the mountain, why what? You have to find the new mountain to climb, babe. You can't. The only way is down.
I'm sure him and his current wife must laugh at this though.
He's married.
Yeah, he's married to someone else now. It's peak, because that's what would kill me. My ex laughing with his new thing about, hey God, may my enemies be this embarrassed.
Amen.
I'm sorry, but it's just like the guy that was dating Beyonce, and she loved that guy down bad. Beyonce is a lover girl.
She's a lover girl, yeah, she is.
She loved that guy down bad, and he was cheating on her. And then if you look at the state of him now,
I saw on TikTok a video.
And I don't want to speak on his wife, but it's just like, from like, you have to say even he must say to himself, from Beyonce to this.
But you know what I believe about these things is that, like, Beyonce wouldn't have been Beyonce with him. Like, I do feel like her destiny was always going to transcend him. Like, sometimes people don't follow you along your journey. Like, they're there for like a couple of stops, and then you continue. It's like, she was always going to be what she was going to be. She was never going to be that with him.
That's true. Because people try to act like but I think Jay-Z has a lot of influence on who she is today. And
well, of course, he met her when she was a child.
From the womb. That's crazy. But anyways, so he knows he can't say like he's a footballer, because she actually runs in these circles. So he says he's a Navy SEAL, and he pretends that he goes to training. And at this time he's training in prison. So he's in prison for the crime he did in fact commit. against
Okay,
Georgia.
so to be fair to Claire, yeah, to be fair to Claire, he didn't present as a footballer, so it's not as if like, you know, she thought, oh, I'm
but
getting
still
with a footballer.
something in the water ain't clean.
No, of course, and it's even less clean to say, oh, I'm a Navy SEAL. Do they even have Navy SEAls here? It's not an American thing.
We don't have the Navy here.
So why would he be here training
Probably
to do
had the
Navy
American
SEAL shit?
accent. Probably had the American accent, girl.
But why, as a Navy SEAL is a national thing, no?
Maybe
Why did they send you across the waters?
You train where all your enemies are. I don't know. There was a time when Brits and Americans were enemies. Who the fuck knows the mind of a fraudster and those who are defrauded?
Clout chasers, because this was all clout chasing. Because he just wanted the glory. He just wanted to be that guy.
This is
he wanted to be that guy. No, for real. I am Beowulf. That's what he wanted. Yeah.
So this shit is dragging on till 2020. And
no, sorry, can we go back to the jail? Because he was in jail when this happened, okay? She's hearing the clanking, the shutting of the cells and things, and he's saying, oh, he's in the training centre.
Yeah, he's training in it. Have you ever been to a Navy? How do you know what goes down there?
Don't they? Okay, I don't have much experience or any actually with UK jails, okay? So I don't know if this call has been recorded or this pre-recorded cellmate
This is a connect call from right.
Okay. Do you wish to accept the charges?
There are guys UK prisons not like that. They don't like. There are guys on TikTok that are
on live,
prison.
innit? Yeah,
they're on live. Like, what do you mean? Is it? People are living their life. They're boiling. People are making like Thai green curry in prison and posting on TikTok. What the fuck do you mean?
I love that for them. Developing skills.
You only love that for them because they didn't commit a crime against you. Imagine scrolling through TikTok after someone has defrauded you and you're seeing that they're living their...
No, that's insane. Yeah. I don't love it for them anymore.
So this is the point where I'm not gonna lie, I kind of zoned out.
Girl,
I was like, is this still going on?
So many times I had to go back and be like, shit, like I had to go back.
And the incompetence of this fucking judicial system that this thing stretched to post-COVID. Anyways, so we're in
I'm so sorry. I just saw this on my notes. He's a Navy SEAL, yeah? And him and Claire met at Soho House. I'm sorry, what is a Navy SEAL doing at Soho House?
What do you mean? He's drinking.
You're undercover.
Rum and Red Bull. Yeah.
You're undercover.
Soho
You're here
House.
to train. Why are you at Soho House?
Listen.
They should be embarrassed as well.
So it's 2020 and this chauffeur company gets asked to work to do transport for Tariq Cohen. If I tell you I understand this story, I'm lying. If you understand it, tell it. But from what
There's
I could
too many characters and they were all him.
Okay. There were like 5 characters and they were in fact all him.
No, they were all him.
And
he said me, myself, and I. No,
but this is like he could easily, yeah. So he was Tariq's agent, and then he was a friend, Gustavo. And then he was another friend that was friends with Elton John. I'm every woman is all in me. Literally. I am every woman is actually all in me. Because
it's all in me, motherfucker.
What the fuck is this shit, yeah? All I know from the story that was going on is somehow he convinced the chauffeur guy to keep paying his hotel bill at the Corinthia. Corinthia is where Beyonce stays when she comes currently. Like if she comes now, that's where she stays. And you're right, you can never rob him of those memories.
This is what I'm saying. You can never, and he can always say regardless, yeah, I stayed there. What I don't understand about this situation is because I initially thought that Miguel, Tariq, Gustavo, whoever else, yeah, gave the chauffeur like his card or the card of someone he had robbed, yeah, and said, hey, pay. I didn't realize that the chauffeur was paying with his own. But why would I do that?
And then because you think it's like if you met Beyonce today, it's just like those DMs people get that say, hey,
it's Whitney Houston, I just need some money, I'll pay you back.
I'm actually alive. Or it's me, Tupac. I'm actually alive. I'm here with Biggie. I just need some money. Biggie's here, he'll tell you.
Hey, it's Biggie. He needs some money.
I need to put 3 carrots in my baby girl's ear. Like, what do you mean? it's the same thing. These people, if to be honest, if Beyonce walked up to me today and she's like, I need some money, I'm gonna pay you right back.
No, because you're Beyonce. Why do you need money from me? This is the thing. I feel like people.
I lost all my cards.
No, you haven't. Because I feel like sometimes like
you haven't. Like,
no, you haven't. You have an assistant. She didn't got a card. I'm telling you, like, I feel like sometimes like people feel like they are the answer. Okay, I'm not saying it's bad because obviously you want to help, yeah. But think about it. You make 30k a week. Okay, what do you need from me? A favor for a rich person is, oh hey, do you mind like just watching my car? Or hey, do you mind like, oh, like you should give me a parking ticket, but maybe you don't. Okay, those are the favors that you give rich people. Anything monetary, anything to do with money, I'm not your guy. I can't help you. I'm so sorry. You make a substantially more amount. A substantially higher amount.
No, but a substantially more amount is accurate because it's that ridiculous. How much more
amount than me? Okay, who am I? What's my little £50
and this
gonna
is
do
a crisis
for you?
Of living. It's not even a cost of living crisis. Living is a crisis on its own.
Living is a crisis in itself. Okay, how are you telling me to a hotel that I can't even afford to stay at myself? I'm gonna ask. If I'm putting my money down, it's because okay, keep the bed warm for me. I have to go somewhere else. Are you alright? When I say this guy has the memories, he won.
No, but also all these people. Please, I really want one of those DMs. Like I love what like reading them. Like, oh hi, it's me, Beyonce. I'm here with my girl Kelly. Like, please DM me. I want to laugh. Like,
girl.
Anyways, so and it was so funny because in the end the chauffeur was trying to get his money back and the bank was like, no, this was sums you did indeed spend.
You authorized these payments.
He said you put your PIN in. Like,
I can't refund you because you're dumb. I can refund you if you were defrauded.
In fairness, he was defrauded, but either way, he was dumb.
But yeah, okay, it's kind of peak. But no, do you know what? I reckon if it was like 4k, they might have done it. 104,000.
But that's not saying that sometimes it pays to be broke because I don't have £104,000. So even if I wanted to pay for you, I am so sorry, Miss Mabs.
He didn't have £104,000.
How many credit cards did he spread that across?
No, because
you can buy it in some parts of this country. You can buy a house for that.
No, for real. Because what was your credit limit?
Go to Stoke-on-Trent. You can buy a house. Like,
nah.
The amount of money in this world that people waste.
And I'm right here, Lord.
That's how the other day my sister saying, oh, do you want to do something for charity? I was like, nigga, I am charity. Literally, in fact, I am charity. Like,
and also, God, like, help me, then I can help charity. Like, don't miss the middleman. Like, let me be a blessing. Bless me so I can bless.
Anyways, that mess all happened, and then there was another anonymous chauffeur that was introduced. So not only was he like, did he have like 5 people that he was playing, he was also playing multiple people with these 5 people.
Yep.
Gustavo met someone else, and he's continuing to date
that other anonymous one. At least that one had shame.
Yeah, Medi is continuing to date Claire, and he was stealing from her and manipulating her. Then Medi is
50k he got from her.
50k. Then he introduces chauffeurs to people that are famous. This is when we meet Evan Ross. And I literally wrote in my notes because documentary's like rounding up. Thank God, wrap it up.
Wrap it up then.
At this point, I cannot keep up with how many individuals he is presenting himself as.
Girl, and there's no need to. Because ultimately, it's a lie.
These chauffeur companies basically say that they invested money in him because the anonymous one was like, yeah, I basically spent 5k renting a range, yeah. And they were like, they had seen other people do stuff like this for other celebs.
So in this situation, it makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this guy wants this car. Okay, cool. If I get this car, I'm basically going to see a return on my investment because he's going to pay me. I'm going to get more thing. In theory, yes. Like, that one I can understand.
But
like, if anyone didn't need to be anonymous, it's this guy. He obviously shouldn't be proud. Me too, I'd be anonymous. But his was the least embarrassing story.
So Medi finally gets arrested, and then the penny drops for all involved. Sorrows, prayers. And the documentary's come to an end now, and the victims are basically talking about the impact. Medi is back in prison, where he also is still pretending to be multiple people and calling the documentary
the
people.
Producers. Mm-hmm.
And in the end, there's nothing to it but the end. Medi will be out in a few years, and he'll do it again.
Is he not out already?
Probably. He's probably...
He'll do it again because you know what? There's no rehabilitating because actually, like, he's burned all his bridges and like he doesn't have any skills. The one skill he had is football and lying. Okay, and so like the football he can't do, he's gonna lie. Yeah. Like, where do you actually go from here?
The only way is down. baby.
Like, where'd you go? You have to continue. But I'm like, what about your family? And they probably said, fuck this nigga.
Yeah.
You put shame to our name.
I would have disowned him by now.
That's insane. Because, like, I can't understand why you're doing the things you're doing. You don't need to do this.
My love is conditional. I would have disowned him. What do you mean? And the thing is that it's embarrassing because it's like you can feel guilt as a parent if you felt like, okay, you could have done more for your kid, but you've provided him with a good life. He's just choosing to be.
And
do you know
set
what?
him up. And again, like, we don't know his like family, but whatever. But like, at least it wasn't poverty that you. It didn't appear to be
and that's my
poverty that
point.
you grew up in.
And you know what? Yeah, that's why sometimes people say like, stop blaming the devil. This is not the like people say it was the work. This is not the work of any devil. This is
people make choices.
And so that was the end. But this is the part of the documentary or the episode where we talk about a crime that isn't a crime, but I mean, you say it better.
Okay, so now it's time for
the real crime, I think, was the beard.
Our segment where we focus on something during the documentary that may not be criminal, but we definitely consider to be a crime. There were many here.
Mine is, there was this clip they showed, and I don't know where he was playing or he was pretending to play, but he had braids. And
what is it? The braids?
I
had some feeling you don't work with me no more. Okay.
And it was just like, I don't know why all these footballers went through that phase. It's just like that other guy.
But they all do. I think, do you know what it is? I feel like they need a thrill or something. They need to feel something.
It's like that guy, what's his name, that has blue eyes, but he's super dark, but he wears contacts. He was on Big Brother once.
Blue contacts. That coloured contacts, I'm sorry.
God.
I don't want to like judge, but I'm judging. Coloured
I'm gonna
contacts
search for
to
him
me,
now.
Abomination.
Black guy that was black guy that wears.
What is it? The braids.
Blue contacts.
What's his name? Let me type it in so I can see.
Oh my God, it's not even coming up with him.
Is he a footballer?
It's coming up with Kanye West.
Is he a footballer?
No, even though Mario Balotelli came up.
Did you type Big Brother?
No.
But that's how you described him.
Oh my God. Oh, it's this guy.
Brian Bello.
Yes.
Your Google search skills are...
Did you?
Oh, I know him.
Do you know what I find quite disturbing about him?
Why did you do that?
Do you know what I find quite disturbing about him? It's not just the contacts. It's also that he has white features, bar the nose. If you look at his actual features, like look at his lips. Like that could...
Yeah, it's just his lips.
You could you could take that face and put it on a white person and it would make sense. And I always find that scary.
The nose.
Yeah, minus the nose. But I always find that scary. Like, why do you
should get filler next?
I don't know, but he should definitely take out the contacts. But yeah, I don't know why these particular kind of men.
Oh my God, there's this picture of his head relaxed.
Yeah, but isn't his hair always relaxed?
No, the ones I'm seeing is looking... Well, actually, the ones I'm seeing is just zoomed into his eyes. So actually, maybe his hair is relaxed in those pictures.
Who knows the inner workings of a madman?
But yeah, there's no need for him to have the braids yet.
There was no need. It was horrible. It was quite disturbing.
What was mine? Okay, so mine was basically in the course of...
in criminal justice.
Yeah, in the course of the criminality, one of the chauffeurs that he robbed, when they went to Trafford Centre to do all the shopping, he offered to buy him a shirt, like he bought him a shirt. And I just think that is criminal. You bought him a shirt knowing that you robbed him. So he bought himself a shirt. What if I didn't want to buy myself that shirt?
What if I wasn't private? That was not in my budget for the month.
That wasn't in the budget. Okay, and now not only that, you've made me now feel like you've gifted me. So imagine the high you're on.
And then it's not even that it wasn't even in a budget. It was probably a shirt that ordinarily I would not have spent my money on.
Exactly.
Even if buying a shirt was in the budget.
It's just, I just think that's just so rude. Like, imagine, so nasty and so rude.
So
imagine
nasty,
like
so
you're
rude.
so happy this rich footballer's bought you something, only to discover that he's robbed you, and now this shirt you have to remember him by.
That you paid for.
That you paid for.
Oh my God.
You're just gonna eaten.
Yeah.
Insane. Okay, so next, I don't know if you've seen the thingy, but I was gonna say that we do, because it's a credits episode we're doing. We do the Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult.
Okay. There's already been a TikTok cult.
Apparently, I have not heard of this, so I don't know.
Chile. Okay.
I know it comes out today, so
okay.
That gives us some time to watch it before next week's episode. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm going to leave the trailer at the end. Yeah, I will leave the trailer at the end. Why not?
Why not?
So that, you know what it's about. And we'll be back next week. In the meantime, between time, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, blah, 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 2 Girls 1 Doc.
Yes.
On TikTok, it's 2 Girls 1 Doc podcast.
Yes.
You can email us, 2girls1doc@gmail.com.
Yes.
And if you are still here, thank you. Please share this if you enjoyed it with someone you love, someone you hate, and someone you like.
Mildly. Even if it's a mild like.
And then if you can just rate us as well, if you're on Spotify, iTunes, or is it iTunes? Apple Podcasts, that's it.
Apple Podcast, yeah.
Apple Podcasts.
All right, thank you.
And you can find us on TikTok, Forenz the Foodie, also Instagram, and you can find me on TikTok, bd.mp4.
Thank you guys.
Ew.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't even know where to start. Today is my sister's birthday. We're not allowed to contact her and we're blocked on absolutely everything. We have 2 daughters. We don't just have one. All the dancers that she dances with, someone else is controlling their lives.
I don't want to say I was in a cult.
How did I let myself get sucked into something like that?
Miranda and I knew that we always wanted dance to be a part of our lives.
California and dancing, it was their big dream.
Men and women travel to LA with their big dream of being on stage and just get wrapped up in a lot of things that aren't fair for them.
7M, an entertainment company founded by Robert Shin, who's also the pastor of LA-based Shekinah Church.
This is a church, but they're also a management company. I just felt a little funny about that.
When he found the dancers, he saw all this an opportunity to be like the world famous social media talent manager.
Social media, it was new. Like, man, I can do this and get money from my art. I want to do this.
He would always share whenever someone would get a deal.
All this money, it's all going to Robert.
It started out fairly innocuous, but the control slowly grew.
I could be in an unsafe environment.
This is a cult.
They would say, like, cut off your family because you need to work on yourself.
You have to die to your family in order to save them. As a man of God, I wasn't thinking that he would ever do anything wrong to me or someone.
When you raise somebody and all of a sudden to see a shell of your daughter, I don't know who this person is.
There were these sleuth accounts popping up. Former members were saying people suffered in his church for decades.
I felt so betrayed. It was awful.
I want Robert to never be able to do this ever again. Whatever you sow, you're gonna reap. That's what he teaches, right?